Good afternoon. This is Leroy Rodriguez coming to you live from CSI Regent Park, and I have the great pleasure and honor today to be talking with Irina Benedict. Irina Benedict is going to be hosting a workshop coming up soon for entrepreneurs who are seeking balance in their life, a balance between purpose and profit, and learning how to manage those things. So, Irina, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Leroy. I appreciate this.
Could you introduce yourself and maybe tell us a little bit about the work that you've been doing?
Yeah, so my name, as you very beautifully said it, because people have difficulty saying my name in English. So my name is Irina Benedict, and I'm the founder of Entrepreneur Enlightenment Academy, where through curriculum, coaching, community, and events, we help, we support purposeful entrepreneurs to thrive in business while following their purpose. And what else do you want me to say about myself?
I was very lucky to already have registered for the course, and I received the ebook that's included with the registration. So could you tell us a little bit about why you decided to do this work, and maybe some of the things that happened in your life that led you to do this type of work?
To do the coaching work, you mean? Yeah. So I have a very interesting journey. I grew up in a communist country in an abusive family. My father drank heavily, and he was very violent when he drank. And my mother was some sort of depressive and couldn't cope with all the pressures of life. So I grew up very independent, taking care of myself. But in that process, I became a bit hardened. I became a bit very masculine, very maybe even aggressive a little bit. But I had to do that because there was nobody there looking to support me. So I had to survive. I had to survive. And I remember I had this calling to go to university. And my father thought that this is something for me because I'm lazy and I don't want to go to work. I wanted to stay home and study for university. He said, you should be a hairdresser. But I wanted to do this electronics university, which was unheard of. First, women were not even allowed to be there a few years ago. And when I entered, we were only 10 girls and 90 boys. Just to give you an example of what I had to fight through. So I did become like a very skilled warrior, like I was doing it. And to leave my parents, like to make a life for myself, I thought that also I wanted to go as far away as possible. So I came to Canada. And in Canada, I worked in my industry, in nuclear industry, and I was again very successful as an engineer. And then I went into the management, and I was very successful as a manager. As a matter of fact, I grew my department business from 1 million to 6 in 2 years.
Wow!
And I grew the team. So this was all like my success in corporate. But because I had this energy of fight, I almost burned myself out because I had like this, I was pushing against something, always pushing against something. Mm-hmm. And I had some epiphanies, and I had one very deep spiritual epiphany. I was volunteer at the I Can Do It conference in Toronto, Hay House. And they assigned me to a room of this woman who was doing past life regression. I didn't even know who she was. I don't know. Have you ever done a past life regression yourself?
No, but I'm very interested in it.
I didn't know anything. So I was assigned to this woman's room, and I didn't even plan to do anything. But as she started to talk, I felt pulled towards a chair, and I felt pulled towards a meditative state. And I got to be in this meditation where I completely, like I could feel my face like transfigured as if I was becoming another person. And I saw myself as a brave warrior in a war or something. We were fighting for something. And she guided and said, look around you and see who you recognize. And I looked around me, it was nobody. Like everybody was dead, everyone. And I felt so lonely, and I started to cry in that meditative state. And she asked us to bring something from that life, some knowledge into this life. So the knowledge I brought, and I have goosebumps even now, was that if you fight against everything, you die being alone. And you even kill your loved ones. I mean, I didn't know if I killed them, but there was nobody around me. Mm-hmm. So as we came out of the meditation, I heard a few more things, and I heard that my name, in fact, Irina, is after the goddess of peace in Greece. So my name, if you trace it back, like in English, my name is very close to the word serenity. Mm-hmm. Irina. So my name was peace, and I was making war. And even in my corporate days, I was fighting for everything, for training budget, for this budget, for promotions, and I realized that I'm living my life from a struggle perspective, from a survival perspective, and not from a thriving perspective. Mm-hmm. So I started my journey, and I took a lot of coaching and energy healing, and there was a point.
So thank you for sharing that story. I think it's always good to have some insight into the type of person that is leading a workshop or a class or a retreat, because even if the content is top-notch, but the person doesn't have lived experience, I mean, it's almost, you may as well just read a book, right? But if the person presenting it has lived experience, they have insight into the content, and they can really, I find they can connect with the people that are attending on a much deeper level.
Yes, and I only teach what I have experienced, not what I read in a book, because I usually share stories, and so I usually share of myself. And what I want to say, before every retreat, I'm experiencing the topic. Like it's even not funny sometimes. Like right now, I'm experiencing going to my next level because I just signed that contract with the radio show. So now here I am, need to reinvent myself. You get it? Mm-hmm. Because life as I knew it, it's done because now I have to produce this radio show. So I am reinventing myself as we speak.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, I think that radio show is going to be not just amazing for you, but now we'll be able to reach such a broader audience. And I think this is something that we really need now. Business for so long has been business without morals, without ethics, and we've suffered for it. And I think there's really a renaissance now of business owners who don't just want to make money. I mean, there's 1,000 ways of making money, but if at the end of the day you've sacrificed your soul, you know, what good is it?
Yes.
So your upcoming workshop is called Reinvent Yourself, Reinvent Your Business. Could you give us a little sneak peek at what people can expect at this workshop?
Yeah, sure. So it's a 2-day retreat, and in the first day we do reinvent ourselves. And in the second day, we do reinvent our business, because when you are in your soul purpose-driven business, you are the one driving the business. And that's why it starts first with reinventing ourselves. So what we will do in the first day, and what I want to say is the more I get the energy of the people coming in, I tweak what we do because I feel the energy. But what is planned for the first day is that we look a little bit at the past. And last year, I looked at the past year. But now I'm guided that we look at the past 5 years of the participants. Like we look past 5 years. What are your biggest successes and what were your bigger failures? And what can we learn? So we we look a little bit of the past to see what we can learn, some wisdom, and gain some insights on what works. Then we will do like a vision quest. I will guide a meditation to see what is the next level and to see yourself at the next level. Like, what does it mean? So for me, like, what does it mean to be a radio show host? What would you need to go? Where would you need to be? Whom would you need to talk to? What things you need to put in place to go to that next level and be successful? So we'll do a vision quest. And then I think in the evening of the first day, we'll show up as our next level person. And we'll walk around and talk with the other people from this place just to embody a little bit more of that new persona and to see how we feel and to start to move the energy inside of us. So that's the first day. The second day, we will look at the business. What was your business? What have happened? And what do you want to do next? And also I have some rituals, like when you go to the next level, there are some things that you want to put in place to keep yourself there, like some habits, some rituals. And I share my table, but people then make their table out of what they want to put in place for their next level. And we end the second day with everyone presents their new reinvented business to a group. Nice. And gets feedback. And that's very valuable. Like, I know last year there was a woman, no, 2 years ago, there was a woman that she had her business, but through this reinvention, she changed it a little bit. And when she spoke to the group, she got such a good feedback that when she left out of there, she was ready to implement. Mm-hmm. Because this is one thing, I'm an activator. So in my personality traits, I'm an activator. So when people come to a retreat, they walk out of there with actions, with implementation, not just, okay, this is something nice. I wish I have time one day to do it. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of in a nutshell. You ask me more if I'm not very clear.
No, I think one of the main things is to get a general sense of what the workshop is about, because like you say, what will actually happen is really dependent on who is there and the type of energy that gets built. You know, it's not like you're just reading from a teleprompter about what needs to happen. So personally, I find that very encouraging that someone is so confident that they can have a general outline, but can adapt it on the fly based on who is there. So that's great. I think that's a great overview. I think one other thing that I wanted to ask you was, who do you think this type of workshop would benefit the most? I mean, obviously it's for entrepreneurs, but in your mind, do you feel like there's a specific type of entrepreneur that would really benefit from this?
Yes. I think it's the person who is a bit frustrated at this point, like they know they have a bigger destiny. They know they are called to do more, and they've been trying a little bit, and they have a little bit of that frustration, like, come on, like, I want to get to the next level. Because I think those are the people who are ready to take some action. Like, you have to feel a bit of discomfort in order for you to, because we know change is hard. Like, we're creatures of habit, so we'd rather stay where we are. But if we feel that our soul is calling us further and we're not quite there, I mean, we'll never be done in our life. We always be called further and further. But if we feel that our next level is within reach, but there is some frustration that keeps us there, I think those are the people. And I'm actually going to turn it to you because you are coming. Do you feel that you are a bit of a frustration, not overly frustrated, not overly angry, but a little bit like, I just want to go to my next level?
Yeah, I think it was such a radical change in my life when I started my business. And from from almost the moment that I made the decision to put up the website, I felt like this amazing sense of almost relief that I finally am starting something that is truly aligned with who I am as a person, not just as an entrepreneur, but as a person. So my business is based on personal growth, holistic health, and spirituality. And I've been so passionate about those topics since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that that would be something I would do in my hobby, something that I would do to relax. I never really thought it could be something that I could actually do as a source of income. And as soon as it started to happen, I was like, this is unbelievable. But at the same time, you can't just rely on dreaming, right?
Yes,
You can't
yes.
just rely on passion. You need to have some structure. You need to have mentorship. You need to have the right people on your team, because if you try and do it alone, I mean, I think that's a very old way of doing business. So meeting you, we say it was chance or random, but I feel very excited to really sink my teeth into my business, but to not sacrifice my soul.
Yeah.
And to have someone that understands. You know, most people, when you're talking about business, they don't talk about energy, right? Or if they are, they're talking about nuclear energy or...
Mm-hmm.
So to me, what really attracted me to you is that you have what seems to me a very good balance of the yang energy and the yin energy. And I think that that is so rare today. Either you have entrepreneurs who are very passionate and very spiritual, but they don't really have any business sense. Then you have people who are very business minded, but they lack the spirituality, the heart of the business. So
yes, I bring them together because my clients are like, as you said, they are both spiritual people who love people and give their services away for free, but they don't make money. Mm-hmm. And I also have clients who have built, like they have 8 staff, they have like a good business, but they are burnt out because they don't have that spiritual component. So I like and when they come together, I cannot wait for you to meet the group, because people at the retreat are first my clients, the Entrepreneur Enlightenment Academy members, and other people like yourself and other people that are joining. But this is, and when they come together also, they learn from each other, because this is what I feel. And I know you care about community. I also care, like this community is supportive of one another. And so that's kind of what I bring. But I want to say that everybody has their purpose. And I think there are other people doing good work, but I do my good work in my way.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. So I think we're almost time to wrap up. Is there any last... actually, you know what? Why don't you leave us with a quote or a saying that you feel has been very important in your life? I'm not putting you on the spot.
So let me say a few things. I wanted to say about the retreat ticket, what it includes, because I feel it's important when people see the price. It includes the 2 days retreat, the workbook, preparation in advance. It includes the food for the 2 days, 2 lunches and a dinner. And also includes a session with me after, which I think it's amazing, because after you've done all this work, you go home and in a week or 2 we connect and we work on your specific plan of action. So I think people who will do this 2017 is like, it will be a go. Mm-hmm. And for what comes to me that is aligned with this retreat, to say as a quote, I feel that the most important, it's maybe not a quote, but I feel the most important thing in us to succeed is to believe in ourselves. Mm-hmm. And I feel that when we believe in ourselves, we can make a good living. for ourselves. And also when we believe in ourselves, we serve people. Because you can be either confident or self-conscious, right? There are two ways of being. When you're self-conscious, that means you think about you, oh, who am I to do this, or who am I to organize events, or who am I? So that part is you being not confident. But when you want to serve and you become confident that if this is my calling, I'm going to give it my best, then you can move forward. And I want to say, like coming at this retreat, you gain a little bit of more of that confidence because you take time to look at what worked, what didn't, and how to shift your business to follow your best path forward.
Very nice. Great. Well, Irina, it was a real pleasure speaking with you today. I hope and I know that the people who really are meant to be there will be there. And I think what's great is by having these short little videos, people really get a sense of what your energy is like. And I think that is really important. If people are aligned properly with their intuition, that's when you always make the best decision. So thank you for joining us today, Irina. And on behalf of the entrepreneurs, the new entrepreneurs, I wanted to thank you for the amazing work that you're doing.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Great. And we will see you on November 30th.
November 30th and December 1st, the 2 days for the retreat.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Okay, see you.